up, everyone? Welcome to This, That, and the Other, where we talk about Michigan State and Detroit sports. And here on a Saturday, week 3 of the Big Ten season, Michigan State with a big game against Iowa. Definitely a little bit late to reacting. It's about 9:30 at night. Game concluded about 3:30. I actually did not watch the second half of the game, but better late than never. Want to give out a few shout-outs before I get started. I want to thank Cosmosaic for the subscription, as well as Smitty Rock. So you guys are my first 2 legit subscribers. Everyone else has been friends and family so far. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys for the feedback and for the kind words on my last 2 videos. But just getting into today's game again here against Iowa today, and it's back to reality for the Spartans. And it wasn't pretty. We got an awesome game last week, not taking that away from them. But this week just showed, that as the Spartans are, as Mel Tucker's concerned, the Spartans, we ain't out of the woods yet, because this game was very ugly. Again, I only saw the first half. It was basically Iowa, in the first half doing what they normally do, doing their short pass, kind of, like screens and all that good stuff. Really just kind of, making the Spartans go sideline to sideline, and Iowa was very effective in the first half, good enough to get the win. Michigan State on offense was a disaster. 3 interceptions. The turnovers are back for Rocky Lombardi. Very poor first half for him. And, Michigan State was trailing 21-0 late in the second quarter, and then we get a punt return touchdown and then an interception return touchdown. So defense didn't play well today, but that certainly didn't help them. Iowa was able to score 2 touchdowns without even putting their offense on the field at the end of the first half. So Iowa obviously very hungry for a win. You look at their running back Goodson had a very nice game, 113 yards and 2 touchdowns on 14 carries, and just looked like a great running back today. And I think those numbers are a little inflated. Once again, we are not able to get the running game going. Jordan Simmons, 9 carries for 34 yards. I think Elijah Collins got a few more carries today. Just opening up that box score here real quick. I think there was quite a bit of garbage time. Elijah Collins, 6 carries for 14 yards. So he's still kind of MIA, unfortunately. And, Connor Hayward ran it a few times. Nothing really jumps off the sheet except for Rocky Lombardi, negative 21 yards, 5 carries. I know those are college football does their statistics a little bit differently than the NFL in terms of sacks, but Brandon Wright got some garbage time. Peyton Thorne only got to throw 1 pass, incomplete. But yeah, 3 interceptions for Rocky, under 500 passing, 227 yards. Just, it's kind of typical, a little bit typical Rocky again. Anything I'm saying about these athletes, this is nothing personal. These are college athletes. I do realize that. So we're not calling anyone out, just kind of calling it how we see it, from a performance standpoint. These are all great kids, but, yeah, the Spartans are still looking for answers, so don't let last week fool you. The Michigan game, I didn't really think we had turned the corner last week. I just thought we played, they played as good as they possibly could have played last week. And I want to go on record and say I still think Michigan's a better football team than, hang on one second. I do think Michigan is still a better football team than Michigan State. even though they had a tough loss today as well to Indiana. Indiana shaping up to be a pretty nice team, by the way. I'll get into that a little bit later. Maybe talk a little bit about Michigan. Jalen Naylor did make some plays today. Ricky White, only had one reception today. Jaden Reed, only one reception as well. They did get a lot more players in the mix today. I want to give a shout out to Tyler Hunt, the Gobles native, not too far away from me, getting his first touchdown today on a carry. Look, I think it was a short end around. I heard it on the radio, did not see it on the broadcast, but yeah, I want to say congratulations to Tyler Hunt. Locally, we're all proud of you. Going from being a walk-on punter to getting on the field and being able to contribute in a game is pretty impressive. So, and then Michigan State, 10 punts today. Only 6 of them came from Bryce Behringer. Then we had Mitchell Crawford come in. I'm not sure who that is. So I don't know if there's an injury or something related. Maybe they're just, I think Bryce Behringer might be a junior or senior, but we'll get that. We'll get that to you. Okay, so Crawford is a senior. And I'm not sure if, I guess he's just a backup punter. Again, no shade, just seeing his name for the first time. So he had a decent day punting today, 40 average. And probably spending too much time on this, but they punted 10 times. I guess that's the real headline of this, because 10 punts. Okay, Iowa punted it 7 times. So Bryce Behringer's a junior. So I think Mitchell must have been that guy from UTEP who transferred over, or Crawford. Give me 1 second. I apologize for this. I know this is not that entertaining, but he must have been. Yeah, because it shows the recent games against Rice, New Mexico State. Yeah, that all adds up. So 2 punters today. Apologize that took longer than it should have. But Michigan State, still searching for answers. We knew Rocky was going to be starting this season at quarterback. So far we have seen some good things. I don't know if they should move on from him at this point. It's only an 8-game season, so I don't know. There's no restrictions on how many games a redshirt can play this year. So if Rocky has another performance like this, maybe consider getting Peyton Thorne in there. Michigan State, they went back to their Rutgers self, and they played a much better team than Rutgers, in my opinion, this week. So, they didn't have the 7 turnovers, but they had plenty. They had 3. That's, don't think that just because they went from 7 turnovers to 3 turnovers that was much of an improvement, because 3 turnovers is still a lot of turnovers. So they still got to work on that. They still got to work on not beating themselves. Rocky, it was a rocky game for Rocky today. 49 points though. You can't give up that many points. Defensively, there was no interceptions or anything like that. Very few, only 1 sack on the day. I want to see if I can get the total team stats up here. Seems like nowadays, if you can hold a team under 400 total yards, you're doing good. Okay, so 405 for Iowa and only 286 total yards for us. Again, the rushing attack, Iowa doing their thing, rushing the ball, 226 yards for them, only 59 for us. That's just really, really shining a light. It doesn't seem like we really have any running backs right now. I think that's a huge thing. I think that's a huge thing that is being a detriment to our success right now. Is 34 yards is the leading rusher, Jordan Simmons. So this offensive line, is not doing much, in the running game so far. And I don't know. I don't think they really have a very deep offensive line. I don't think they can get other guys in there right now. They're in the thick of it right now, so this team kind of is who they are, I think, for this season anyways. I don't think there's many adjustments they can make, going forward. And, offensively in the first half, I did think that they were just kind of in their own way for a while. I really didn't think they were as bad as, the 0 points that they put up. It seems like they just kind of got tripped up on some of those series. And, they just were not, they were just not, they were not getting first downs. They were coming up just a yard short, things like that, Rocky Lombardi overthrew a short pass that would have been a first down at some point. In the turnover battle, the only chance they have to win any more games is to win that turnover battle. And Rocky Lombardi has got to make smart plays because, like I said, he's not the most accurate quarterback, so he can't afford to make, those mental mistakes. You got to increase your efficiency when you're in a situation like this by making smart choices. Part of what was hurting him today was he appeared to be shaken up in the first half, and they continued to roll with them. I leave that up to the coaching staff. Not sure if that was the best decision or not. But Mel Tucker, he's still got his work cut out for him. Like I said, the Spartans are not out of the woods by a long shot after today. I do not consider this Iowa team to be a juggernaut type of team. But Michigan State did beat themselves today. I think, unlike Rutgers, and, you got 3 games, and Rutgers, Michigan State beat themselves. In the Michigan game, they didn't beat themselves, and in this game, Michigan State beat themselves, and then Iowa beat them as well, is the way I interpret this kind of game. So, I do think that, the defense is in a really tough spot right now. I really don't think that they're playing that poorly defensively. I just think that there's a lack of depth and lack of talent in a lot of areas on the defense. They got some older players who are, really under D'Antonio had not shown a whole lot of improvement. And those are kind of the players that they have. So, they can win. They can contribute. I don't think they can win you that many games. I think that, they can hold their own most games. But, in a game like this, they were really not helped out by their offense at all. But, you definitely can't allow over 200 yards on the ground. This Iowa team, they have some nice running backs. They've had some nice offensive linemen, but again, this is not the kind of team that you want to be losing 49-7 to. So, I think, a big part of this was just Iowa, having lost 2 really close games. I think that they were just ready to, punch somebody in the mouth. It happened to be Michigan State today. Again, they were projected to win this game, so they've had a tough luck season so far, and they don't appear to be going anywhere in terms of Big Ten titles or anything like that. I'm not right now. It's looking like Northwestern, in my opinion. So, you look at the schedule now, you got Indiana. They're starting to look like a real tough team after what they did to Michigan today. And Maryland beating Penn State. The narrative just keeps on changing every single week. So, Let's take a look at Maryland real quick. They obviously had their big win over Minnesota, and now we were saying, after they beat Minnesota, then we were thinking, Minnesota might not be such a good team, but now that they beat Penn State, we're starting to think that Maryland, it may be just kind of a good team, and this is just the evolution of the season. It's kind of interesting to watch. I don't think anyone would think, okay, Big Ten East standings, Indiana at the top, Ohio State second, and Maryland third, Rutgers fourth. Michigan State, Michigan, and Penn State are at the bottom of the Big Ten East. That's kind of crazy. So, we've been sleeping on Indiana, Maryland, and Rutgers for a long time. I don't think Rutgers is there yet, but Maryland looks like they're starting to get tired of being pushed around in the Big Ten East. So, today they get a big win over Penn State. Now Penn State is 0-3. But let's take a look at their schedule real quick. I know they had the loss to Ohio State, and yeah, they had the loss to Ohio State, and then a real close loss to that Indiana team, which seems to be a pretty good team. They've had, in a normal year, you'd expect them to be 2-1. I think this Nebraska game should be a win for them. Iowa, Michigan, that game could be a toss-up. They might struggle with Rutgers as well. This might be a down year for Penn State as well. So, going back to our boys over at Michigan State, we're not getting much love right now, but it's all right. This is a building year. So Indiana next week, that I don't see our defense being able to stop their offense with Penix, and our offense really needs to shape up after the first week and this week. They really need to get something going, especially in the running game and in the blocking game. So Indiana, Maryland, those are two tough games. They're nothing but tough games for Michigan State, the remainder of the schedule. Oh boy, you just gotta hope that Maryland team is not, is not as invincible for Michigan State as what they look like right now. I still think that could be a winnable game. Is the Indiana winnable? I kind of doubt it. Northwestern, I think that could end up being a winnable game. And again, these are not games I'm predicting them to win. I'm just saying that these are even winnable. And Penn State, Ohio State, still not willing to touch that one. Penn State, that one, depending on how things look, if Michigan State gets some momentum going, I think they could have a chance winning that final game against Penn State. Right now, I think my prediction is I'm looking at about a 2-6 season, and they have to quit with these with the games like they had against Rutgers and Iowa today. They have to not beat themselves. We've seen what they can do when they don't beat themselves against Michigan. That's what Mel Tucker needs to convey to his team, that it's not. That they can be a good team. And against Michigan, they were a good team. And against Iowa and Rutgers, they weren't. It's that simple. It's pretty black and white. So, it's all up to them at this point. Maryland, Northwestern are winnable games. Indiana might be a winnable game. I don't know. It really doesn't look like it. Indiana looks like they are seizing the moment right now. They had not beaten Michigan in over 25 years. So they got that win tonight, and they look like they're ready to be the runner-up team in the Big Ten East. It looks like, and it's a long overdue, but 3 to 4 winnable games. That Penn State game, I still think they're going to get it turned around. I still think that, Penn State is probably, they're probably looking at a 4-4 or 5-3 season, just kind of one of those tough luck kind of seasons. But, we'll see. But Michigan State, like I said, they are back to reality is the best way to summarize this game today. So I guess that's all I got, you guys, for the Spartans. We do have some Lions football tomorrow against the Minnesota Vikings, and that one seems like it's going to be, just got to level with you, on the Lions. I mean, this is not a good situation for them either. It's been a while since I touched on them. I think a lot of you guys are probably feeling the same way I am, because last week was my first week that I was rooting for them again, because I just figured, they're 3-3. If they beat the Colts, I figured, what, I'll let myself get a little bit back on the bandwagon. They lost the game. Now they're in a game against the Vikings where if they win, I'm not going to be convinced. And if they lose, I'm really going to want Patricia fired. And I think that's still what I want at the end of the day. Vikings, Washington, Panthers, and Texans, those are all winnable games. And it's going to make it harder and harder for the Lions to fire Patricia. Let me know what you think about the Lions, because are you in that tough spot where you don't know if you should be rooting for them or not? I'm not sure I really have the time to watch them tomorrow. I mean, I have classes at Michigan State, master's classes, and November is kind of the time when things start heating up for schoolwork. So those could be a valuable 3 hours tomorrow. We just have a lot going on, and I just don't know if I can watch that game in all good consciousness, you guys. After halftime, today was a beautiful day. I went out and went to my friends to have kind of a little bit of a barbecue, and that ended up to be a great decision. We had a great time, and I kind of made I think it was a good decision to kind of go ahead and stop wasting my time with the Spartans today, and get out for one of the few nice days we have left in this calendar year. So, we're almost out of 2020, so that's a positive. And I think, boy, it really depresses me to even talk about the Lions right now, you guys. I could not imagine finishing 8-8 and, missing the playoffs and having Patricia come back. They're just in mediocrity right now. I don't know what's going to happen with Stafford. I'd like him to stick around, but if Patricia gets fired, I don't think he's going to want to keep, I don't think he's going to keep wanting to go with us any longer. And I think the Lions are going to have a long rebuild ahead of them. I guess if you're one way to look at it is if you're one of those people who really wants them to keep Stafford, then I guess you root for him to win out and somehow get this thing figured out. Because like I said, I think once Patricia's gone, I think they're going to bulldoze the whole team and start over once again. New quarterback, new coach, new general manager. A lot of you guys want them to get a new owner as well. I keep trying to tell you guys that's not going to happen. I mean, an owner is not like a general manager. Some of you guys, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that that's one of those reality calls for you guys. I mean, the Fords have owned the Lions for a long time. Some of you guys have been saying maybe Jeff Bezos can buy the team. I don't think you guys want that, because I think the first thing he's going to do is move them to another city and rebrand. So be careful what you wish for on that. I haven't been happy with the Lions a lot, but, You know, they're still my team. I still want them to stay in Detroit, and you know, you know, life just would not be the same without Lions football, you guys. Um, I hope that you guys found this video to be entertaining and insightful. I apologize for the lack of intel on this game due to not seeing the second half of the game. But, and I apologize that I don't have much really good intel on the Lions. You know, I'm kind of checked out on them. We'll see how they do tomorrow. This could be a real blow though if they lose to the Vikings, if you're one of those guys that wants Patricia fired. And you know, you never know with the Washington game next week. You know, Washington is still a hungry team. The NFC East is still up for grabs. I don't care what people say. They could be very motivated for that game as well. So, and then the Panthers, they've shown they can win. So, you know, they could end up being at 3-7 going into that Thanksgiving Day game. And, you know, I think they're probably still going to win Thanksgiving, but no matter what. But like I said, if you're one of those people that wants Patricia fired, you know, I still don't think it's going to happen. I still think they're going to come out with two of three of these next three games: Minnesota, Washington, and Carolina. I should say I'll say 2 of 4. I think the Panthers could be a tough game. I think they'll lose to either the Vikings or Washington. So, but, you know, if they only come away with like one win, that could be a very big blow to Matt Patricia. And, you know, getting our next head coach like the Spartans did. You know, I think with the Spartans, you know, it's to me, it looks like we're sort of heading in the right direction, but it's kind of hard to tell after games like today. And you know, I still have hope for Mel Tucker. That's for sure. It's very early, and he's getting his team together. You guys, I want you guys to have some optimism. I do think Mel is getting that team together, and it's very possible that they could, you know, they just need to prepare. You know, they need to have another really good week of preparation for whoever they're playing, like they did against Michigan, and somehow replicate that intensity and that attention to detail, not with avoiding all those turnovers, you guys. So like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the game today, or anything going on in the Big Ten. How do you guys see this season shaping up? And what are your thoughts on the Lions as well? I've been pretty quiet on them. Just don't have much to say. But that's gonna wrap it up for this for you guys. Thank you for tuning in to This, That, and the Other.